All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the first pulse of the new year. It's great to be here with everybody. A very short list this week, so this will be a short show, quick amount of updates. So we'll just jump right in. I'm going to cover the first one of something that we have in development, and then I'm going to pass it over to Tamara. But the first thing we have is Microsoft 365 Admin Center. You're going to get conglomerate branding. This basically means that you can, through the use of Office 365 groups, have different branding selections based on those groups. So if you're in an organization that maybe different countries want to have different branding, maybe you want to have different users have different branding for whatever reason, I'm sure this is something that you want, something that you need, something that they're asking for. It's in development, coming soon. So they're back in the sausage factory making it, should be coming out soon. So don't have many details on it, just that it's in development. They're saying March. It could be a potential release, so we'll see what happens. So with that, I will pass it to Tamara.
Thanks, Jen. So Microsoft Lists, there's now an undo and redo. So as you work across rows and columns in Microsoft Lists, mistakes will happen and it needs to be easy to recover information. So similar to how you can remove sentences and phrases in a Word document, you'll now be able to do this in Lists by using the undo button. The same is true in reverse. If there is something in a field previously that you want to bring back, just click the redo button. And this is launched. So it was set for December 2020. So, and that's out to all the tenants, including GCC High and DoD.
Sweet. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I did a Spark 1 tip or a 1-minute Office Magic tip on it, and it works really nicely. Plus, it also respects the keyboard shortcuts. So you can you can do like Control X, Control V, or whatever the keyboards are for
Control Z.
Control Z, thank you.
Right.
So yeah, it was really cool.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah. I mess up a lot.
A pro tip, even though this is not at all what we're talking about, Control Shift T opens up your previously closed tabs in browsers.
That is a really
Take one to the bank, guys.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Control Shift and T as in Tom?
Yep.
Yes. I think it works on most all browsers, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great. When I found that out, that was like the best life pro tip ever.
Yeah, I've used that on occasion. Like, oh, I didn't mean to close that.
And it caches stuff. You can be like, oh, that was 6 web pages ago, and just be sitting there spamming as it opens up like 1,000 tabs for you. But anyway, go ahead.
Really cool.
Well, I'll get in my teenager's room and do that.
Probably more information than you want to know.
Awesome. So I'm going to touch on a couple items that we have that are Microsoft Forms related. One is in rolling out, and the other one is launched. The rolling out one is that you will now be able to set up a forms, that allows you to allow your respondents to either get an email receipt and or download the responses of what they put in there. That could be really good for issues where you've given them a survey where they have, personal information or something like that, and they want to be able to download it. They can now do that. Plus, they can get the email response saying, yes, we've received it. So there's not this, did it go out into the ether and disappear, or did you actually get it? I think those are going to be really good functionality pieces.
All the time, it seems like you get someone like, oh, I don't remember if I did your form. And like, if you're the admin, you have to like go and look at the results and be like, yes, you did it. Like, just now you can be like, check your email. It's fine.
Yeah, that works really well. The other one that they are now doing, and this one is launched, you are now going to be able to send out a survey to collect responses from specific users or security groups. So instead of saying, hey, anybody who's got the link can do it, or anybody in this organization can do it, you can say, hey, I only want the people who are in this particular Active Directory group or this particular list of names that I put in there. So now you can really start to have surveys that you say, I want these 5 people to answer these surveys because they were in a meeting. And it's somewhat sensitive, so I don't want everybody being able to come in and do it. I just want these 5 people, and I don't have to go in and say, did somebody stumble across it and responded to something they shouldn't? I think that, again, is another usability feature that is going to be really good and make forms that much better for people to use.
Agreed.
Cool. So I have a couple nerdy ones that I updated on. The first one, I may not have been as excited for an update as this in the entire last year. It's a very specific thing, but it's going to make my life a lot easier. So MIP auto classification, which I get asked this question like twice a week. You need E5 or G5 licensing to do this, so just throwing it out there. But auto classification for MIP labels, which is basically going through and saying like, everything in OneDrive or everything in this certain SharePoint site or everything in this certain mailbox I want to put a label on is coming to the GovClouds. It's in the process of rolling out right now. The reason this is so awesome is because if you want to go through and do certain postures about classifications, one of the easiest way to do it is just say, okay, well, I'm going to tell my whole company, if you have something sensitive, put it in this SharePoint site, and then you can go in and apply classification labels. And with classification labels, you can do stuff like add encryption to documents and stuff like that. So all of our compliance friends, which are basically 90% of people that have to go into the GovCloud, this is the thing that they are all desperately looking forward to. So the fact that it's finally coming out is absolutely amazing. So if you happen to listen to the show and you're in the GovCloud, free at last, free at last. My God Almighty, we're free at last. The final thing I'll go ahead and say, and this is just kind of cool, none of us are huge users of Yammer, but I like to see this going through and being added in. Azure B2B guest support for Yammer is coming. If you don't know the back-end logistics of how everything works, Azure B2B is how Microsoft handles communication between tenants. It's what drives collaboration for you and anyone else in 365 that's not in your tenant itself. And the fact that they're doing the integration of guest users and Azure B2B across Yammer is just going to make it that much easier to add external users to your network. And it's more representative of what you've seen over the last couple of years, which is Yammer being really brought into the fold of what is the Office 365 world. So even though I'm not a heavy Yammer user, nice to see stuff like this coming out. So if you do like Yammer, your world of sharing with others is getting easier.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show today. So
You got
very
cancellation.
quick show. Yes, I'm going to go into the two cancellations that really don't matter. So the reason they don't matter is because they're simply duplicates that are getting removed. A lot of times what happens with the cancellations, they're duplicates, meaning they typically come in as one feature and then someone else comes along with another bigger feature. And then it's like, oh, two of kind of the same things. Let's roll them together. So SharePoint Admin Center getting the OneDrive settings, it's a duplicate of another feature. So basically, the features are still coming. So the SharePoint and Admin Centers for OneDrive and SharePoint, they're going to be more aligned. It's going to be a better experience. Still coming, just not from this item number. And then Share System Audio on the Mac for Microsoft Teams. This is still coming. That is going to be so your Mac users can share audio when they're sharing video and stuff like that and from their own device into a group. But that is not coming on this item number because it's coming on a different item number. So still coming, just not on these numbers. So the way we look through our list is we keep a compare from every week, and we go in and we compare the two roadmaps and we look for changes in both the status and changes then in the status, the release dates, different things like that. So that's what we're looking for, to catch some of these differences, to see where the changes are. And then when they do a big change, that's when we notice, and that's when we bring them to your attention. So we definitely don't cover everything that's in development. We just cover when it pops to the roadmap for you. So hopefully this has been helpful. This is a nice little quick show this week, but very exciting. Good news for our GovCloud friends. As
And
Adam
we're all
said,
together for the first time in like 2 months.
I know, it's been crazy. Crazy. But we will be back next week with probably even more updates. Maybe more updates. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. But thanks, everybody. It was great. And we'll talk again soon. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.